Okay, so it's done. The left of America, the liberals of the world, they've done it. They've eviscerated women's sports as we know it in the modern world. So what we've witnessed was pretty much a travesty. And what they did to people, this, let me use the left or liberals' favorite term, gaslighting. They've been gaslighting those of us who have spoken up and said this is not fair. And to use their own term against them, what they do is they stick a label on you. You're hateful, you're intolerant, you're homophobic, you're whatever. Because you're saying, I have a problem with this. And that is people with gender ambiguity fighting in women's boxing or running, in doing anything in women's strength and endurance sports. If you are disqualified, which both of these fighters were, for having chromosomal ambiguity, let me call it that. They simply didn't have the exact match for female or women's sports. And they obfuscate with all this confusion, and they make you feel, they stick a label on you, and then they shut you up. But if you don't have the right chromosomal makeup to be qualified to enter into women's sports, you shouldn't be in women's sports. That's life is tough, and there are certain things like that where we have to have rules to delineate, to have divisions. But what is the whole point of having women's sports? It's because men were built, their bodies biologically are designed stronger, and anything that comes close to a man is going to be a little stronger than a woman. And if you have dual genitalia, or you're a woman but you got XY chromosomes, which are male that becomes a problem. It's problematic. It's not hateful. It's just, let's just be done with it then. You've ruined it. Let's just say we don't have women's sports anymore. It's a free-for-all. And again, it's not hateful. If you're transgender or you have DSD or intersex or any of that, that needs to be another division. It doesn't need to be hated. We don't need to be prejudiced. We just need to say, that doesn't belong. This is a round hole, that's a square peg. That's all. They were both disqualified by the International Boxing Organization. And if you don't realize this, what happened next was the Olympic organization, the IOC, said, you're no longer governing this. To the boxing organization, we're governing it. So they set up a new body to control women's boxing so that they could let these two with gender ambiguities such as intersex or DSD. It's all very confusing, and it shouldn't be. That's my contention, is it should not be confusing. It should be women's sports, girls, women with female chromosomes, not the XY chromosome. That's what these two boxers have. And what they did was they showed you a bunch of pictures of them being raised as girls. And so you say, all right, I don't care about that. That's not the point. You can raise a person as a girl, and that person can still have intersex. In other words, they can be a testosterone producing powerhouse. And the ugly part of this is they convince you you're hateful if you think otherwise. I have no hate. Of course this person did what people do. It's human nature. She wanted to compete, and she was allowed. That's the problem. Therein lies the problem. What you allow, people will do. And when you show pictures of the father and pictures of the boxer growing up as a girl, you confuse people. You cloud their minds, you cloud their judgments, you use emotion. And with this emotion, you have destroyed women's sports. And I would venture to say that many who were championing this are now saying, maybe this did go a little far. I didn't expect this person would be taking the gold medal. And it's all questionable. And you have been gaslighted. You have been tricked. You have been shamed into compliance. It's wrong. The woke business and the far left has destroyed women's sports. They've robbed girls and women of their Olympic dreams, of their championship dreams. Again, let me revisit. These two boxers were disqualified by the International Boxing Organization. That means something. It wasn't a witch hunt. They were just seeking to protect women, women's sports. You don't have to hate Imane Khelif to say it's not right for them to allow this person to beat every girl in the Olympics and take home the gold. This is nothing, not to mention the other boxer. Anyway, just a quick update, and I wanted to voice my disgust, and you should too. It's not hateful. It's just saying that it's wrong. Black and white.